Hello, and welcome to another episode of Wednesdays with We. I'm very happy to be here today with some associates and friends. Amy Keller from Arrow, our executive team member. Hi, Amy.
Hello. Happy to be here.
Yay, happy that you're here. And Margo Antonellis on our founding board and also our advisory board. So thank you for joining us, Margo.
Thank you for having me. Hi, everybody.
We're missing Monica today. She had some work, work interferes with everything. So she had some stuff come up that she couldn't join us. She's been super busy dealing with all this stuff that everybody's dealing with right now with our current situation. So we're going to miss Monica today, but thinking of her. So I just wanted to start it out and say our episode today is going to be on thriving and our favorite things through thriving through this circumstance. So a lot of us have a lot of challenges, but how can we look at things in a way that we can share information, share some helpful tips, and keep thriving through our circumstances? So anyway, Margo, you and I had a conversation yesterday that I thought was really interesting because I was communicating to you that I was feeling a little cooped up in the sense of it's like same scenery, and you gave me a really helpful suggestion. So I don't know, maybe you want to talk about that.
Sure. So I was having the exact same feelings. I was cooped up and anxious and everything was just kind of building up. So fortunately, we have a house on the Cape. So I said this morning when the anxiety was getting worse, you know what? I'm going to go down the Cape. I'm going to take a run. I'm going to take my work with me down there. And the minute I got into a different scenery, it was like, and I recognize not everybody has another house to go to or things like that. But all you have to do, I think, in my eyes, was just getting in the car, going for a drive, and getting to a different place than my house, the same walls and the same town and the same people, made me feel like, I'm free. Like I just felt free.
Great idea.
Yeah, the anxiety.
Just to get out.
Just to get out. So many of us are in outside sales.
Right.
I haven't driven since March 10th. Little drives, but really, so this 45-minute drive, I have never enjoyed a drive more than I did today.
Right.
So I highly suggest getting in your car, going to a different place to run. If you walk. If you sit, just get out and just decompress.
Go somewhere different. That's such a good point. In fact, I'm going to do that today. I'm going to take a little drive, and I'm going to go through like a drive-through Starbucks or something, and I'm just going to take a drive for different scenery. And I think it was a good point, Margo, too, is like I take my walk, I walk out of my door, and I do my loop-de-loop. And I think it would be fun to go drive somewhere and to go walk somewhere else. That might be really good for my kids as well. And then, Amy, we had been talking as well, and you had some other suggestions on some other things I thought was pretty helpful. So maybe you should talk about that a little bit.
Sure. No, I also enjoy just getting out of the house sometimes. It just feels so good. But in the evenings when I'm home, I've been on Pinterest a lot, and I found it really useful. There's two areas. I don't know if either of you have checked it out, but there's life hacks and professional work hacks on Pinterest. If you just search like in the top up-hand section, just search for hacks. And what you'll find is, for me anyway, is I was looking for ways just to organize my home office, but I came across ways to organize and color code your inbox and your email. Wow. I know a lot of us are spending so much time on the screen, just looking at sorting emails and going through things. I found some really good professional hacks for organizing our work life. And then also I was looking for home hacks about organizing things at home and my wardrobe, etc. So thought it was kind of fun, but useful as well. So
I'm going to take that down because I think right now the email situation is a little overwhelming. And I do find that I'm kind of missing some things because maybe I'm not flagging it and going back. And then the next day I'm like, oh my gosh, that was so important. And I think everybody's facing right now a situation where so many things are so important, right? So everything that seems to be coming in seems to be like kind of hot, you know? So that's the thing is I'm going to use that, Amy. I think that's such good information. I'm going to look that up. You know, the other thing too, I'm wondering is I'm wanting to thrive at Easter because it's the first Easter of not having people over. And I am an introverted kind of person, but I also enjoy human interaction, like I think a lot of people. I think this situation affects some people more than others, but for me, I do thrive when I see people. So I was wondering what you guys thought of something, and I wanted to put it out there to maybe some people listening that could maybe comment in on LinkedIn to say, is it okay if I have tables set out in my front yard and just have one or two other neighbors come over and stay in the front, social distancing, not worrying about food. Everybody eats their own food at their own house, and everybody brings their own drink, whatever they're going to have, coffee, tea, cocktail, whatever they decide. And so there's no sharing of anything like that. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that is appropriate, or do you think people would be upset and offended by that? Like, I'm just curious.
I'll just, personally, I think it is necessary. I mean, I think that this not talking to people in a world where we are so used to seeing people, and especially in our industry, that you're craving it, and when they take it away from you, it can make you depressed and things like that. So as long as you're listening to the rules and the social distancing is there and people aren't on top of each other and it's not like a party, to me, I think it's more beneficial than it would be hurtful. So I mean, I personally, I know that I said to my mother, not being able to see her on Easter, what can we do? And I said, you know what, Mom, it's supposed to be nice. So my family's going to come to her house and sit in the front lawn with chairs like we're going to a soccer game and bring mimosa. And we're going to toast and have a mimosa and celebrate the fact that we're all here, we're all healthy while social distancing. But so she gets to see us.
You know, that's great, Margo. Yeah, I mean, that's great, Margo and Jackie. I wish my family lived close. You know, this time of year is always a challenge when they're not close. And so we usually either we fly there or they fly here, and we're not going to have that opportunity this year. So we're going to have to bring in the FaceTime, and we're going to set up, you know, just a FaceTime Teams call with the family this year as we all eat dinner together. But yeah, if you have the opportunity to see some really close friends and family, from a social distance of at least 6 feet away, and, you know, take in consideration obviously where you are and the restrictions around some of those key hotbeds right now. But you know, in some cases, people probably will wear a mask, and that's okay as well. And probably really important that we're taking all those things into consideration. But sometimes just seeing people is really meaningful.
Yes, I think so. Well, I know everybody's so busy. Just you guys taking the time today just to even chat and take some time out of your day has been so nice for me, just to see your faces. And I hope people appreciate some of these conversations. And we would love for people to chat in and give us suggestions and have continued conversations. So you lovely ladies have a great day. And I just have to say a little shout out to our industry with all these troopers like yourselves working behind the scenes so hard to bring respirators and ventilators and medical equipment that's so essential to our world right now. So I just wanted to leave it with that note and say thank you to everybody working so hard behind the scenes to bring solutions to our global crisis. So thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Great.